I would say Backlash. It, yeah, it did good. It definitely did good. My thoughts, great. I would say if you watched it, you watched a great PLE. Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins was a great match. It started off quick and then it started to slow down. There were a few botches in that match, but you can't. It's the only one that I have a real problem with is Braun Breaker with his Steiner Rada, Hurricane Rana, whatever, from the top rope. He needs to dial that one in, because he's gonna hurt himself for the most part. I think his opponent can control the way that they take the move well enough, but he's getting dangerously close of like hurting himself on that move, and it's not going to be good for anyone involved if that happens. Well, yeah, there's really good spots. Seth Rollins, was able to take out the Vision with a chair, but that led to him being distracted enough for Braun Breaker to get the win. There was two botches. The one that I said, the Braun Breaker, the Hurricane Rana, but there was another one where it looked like they were going to do like a float over DDT that kind of fell apart. But ultimately, it was a really good match. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. I was happy with it. Happy with the results. Happy with how things went. The Trick Williams match with Sami Zayn, that was next. And their storyline has been going back and forth. And Sami's being more and more dastardly as time goes on, which he needs to be, because it's time for him to be kind of a meanie poo-poo head. And more of a meanie poo-poo head. If he wants championship gold around his waist, doing it as a babyface is not going to happen. He needs to go heel, and he's getting there. He might have one more step he needs to do to finally hit that crescendo, so to speak, to becoming full heel. But again, the match was pretty good. It was a nice back and forth. It was telling a good story about how Sami is starting to show his mean streak, starting to show his mean side, his heel side, whatever you want to call it. And with him attacking Little Yachty attacking him with the kendo stick, doing all that kind of stuff. Like, it opens up for a third match between Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, especially since Trick Williams won because of the interferences. Because there was a lot of interference from Little Yachty, so Sami Zayn's going to have some say in that. So he might be able to call in one more match for that U.S. Championship. But it was a really good match. I'm happy with Trick Williams being the United States Champion. It is a great championship for him to be holding. He gets a great crowd reaction. The whoop that trick. I was there in person for SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, and man, oh man, everyone is down with the whoop that trick. So, Trick Williams, definitely a fan favorite. Now, the next match was Danhausen with a mystery partner going against The Miz and Kit Wilson. They did the box again, but it was a cloning box. And he cloned himself, but apparently he didn't clone long enough. And so Minihausens came in. The wrestler that came out as the Minihausen, I think, was El Toro. If I was correct, from AAA, I could be wrong, but from his style of wrestling and the way that he moved around. If you guys remember We LC, way back in the day, El Toro versus, remember that Matadors? If you guys remember him, I think that was him. Same kind of like style, same kind of look, same kind of everything. They had fun. The Minihausen was able to show off his skills against The Miz and Kit Wilson. Had some good spots. Danhausen's still over, man. He can go. He knows how to wrestle. It was some good spots. They need to continue to do what they're doing with Danhausen, because again, great crowd reaction. He gets there's no semblance of any boos at all anywhere, whether it be online, whether it be in person. I don't see anyone getting down on Danhausen. No one is going, oh man, this is getting old. Everyone is on the Danhausen train. Everyone is loving this stuff. He needs to continue doing what he's doing, continuing to curse people, continuing like the funny stuff. We need this funny, okay? We need some good feel moments, and Danhausen is a feel good moment, and especially when he wins, and especially with Minihausen. Oh yeah, so Kit Williams, there was a part where he grabbed Minihausen and he threw him into the cloning machine, thinking that I'm gonna luck you out. You're not gonna be able to get out now, and you're gonna lose the match. And like 6 other Minihausens came out and started beating up Kit Wilson, and they're all around. And then Miz at the end, he was getting close. He had a fire extinguisher, and he was trying to say, "I'm not cursed," and spray Danhausen with the fire hydrant. And he looked at it, like a cartoon, and it went off in his face, and then it went off in Kit Wilson's face. He lost the match to Danhausen's big boot. So yeah, Danhausen and Minihausen defeated The Miz and Kit Wilson, and this is a great spot for The Miz. He's getting older. He's now in that veteran spot. He's helping out the young guys, or the up and coming guys. This is a great spot for him. I'm very happy for. I still do. Even though he's a dastardly Devin now, I really like The Miz. I've liked The Miz ever since he first started getting in. He's a workhorse. He puts his heart and soul into all of this, and he gives his everything. He's just like John Cena. He says yes, and he does whatever he can. He doesn't get mad. He doesn't complain. If they say, "Hey, come go to this place here," he does it, and he does it with a smile, and he does everything he can to get himself over, get his opponent over, and get the company over. And I appreciate that. Next was Io Sky versus Asuka. And on this one here, this rivalry has been going on for a very, very long time. And with Kairi Sane being released, it kind of put a damper on it, and just they missed that feel-good moment by releasing Kairi Sane. They could have waited. They could have extended it a month. They could have done something, I feel. Because we all knew Asuka was going to lose. She had to. There was no way that Asuka was going to win and continue this storyline even longer. Okay, this has been going on for almost a year and a half, 2 years. Okay, but it was a great. Backlash was great. Okay, Io Sky and Asuka, lots of back and forth. They really played up the student and master, and the student and teacher, the master and the apprentice kind of back and forth. It was a fun match to watch. It had great timing, great atmosphere. It told a story. And it ended the way the story needed to end. With the master, the dastardly Devin, the teacher, humbling themselves, looking at you, Piet, humbling themselves and congratulating, hugging, and being happy for their student when they outdid them, when they beat them. The match ended with Asuka hugging Io Sky. It would have been even better if Kairi Sane was there and all 3 of them hugged. Okay, but it is what it is. It's okay. Whatever, fine. Maybe only Asuka hugged because Kairi Sane wasn't there to be able to hug Io Sky. Maybe that was the spot that they originally had planned. Maybe Kairi Sane was supposed to help Io Sky or refuse to help Asuka, which then led to Io Sky winning. And then Kairi Sane finally saying no to Asuka and even turning on Asuka. And then having that feel-good moment hugging there between Io Sky and Kairi Sane maybe. But we'll never know, okay? Maybe they'll, have Unreal or something and we'll find out then. But who knows? And then we had our special announcement from John Cena. And it's so good to see John Cena. And unfortunately, because of his body, because of the damage he's taken, because of the years and everything that he's done, we're never going to see his final match with Gunther That was his final match. He's not coming back. He didn't run down the ramp. He can't do it anymore, guys. Like, I would love to see another match. I would love to see it, but there's just no way, and it's very unfortunate. But even though he's not going to wrestle anymore, we do have him in that ambassador role. And now with this announcement, he's having what he's calling the John Cena Classic Championship. And it's a special event. He's going to have, like he had with his last match, that Saturday night's main event, he's going to give NXT guys, the new guys, and the wrestlers of today opportunities to wrestle each other. They're going to have a championship. A champion come out of that one event. We're all going to vote. He says that the fans get to vote whether they won or they lost. Every participant of that night has the opportunity to win this championship, who gets voted by us, the WWE Universe. So I can't wait till that gets announced, and there's a date for it. Can't wait to see which wrestlers have the matches. It's going to be wonderful to watch again. I love seeing John Cena in this role. I love seeing him on my screen. There was an interview that he did where he said, once December's gone, you're not going to think of John Cena again. And Mr. Cena, respectfully, you're wrong, sir. It is going to take a very long time for us, the WWE Universe, to forget about you and the contributions you've given to us over the many, many years. I've watched your entire career from start to finish, and it's going to take a very long time for me personally to forget about you, sir. So I am glad they're doing this event. I'm glad that they're doing the John Cena Classic, and that they're having a championship. John Cena's always been the guy to try to give the new up-and-comers a chance, because that's how you build the future. You know, you can't build the future by continuing to have everyone do everything now. There's no future if everyone from the now is now also the future. You know? So, like, the now has to become the then for the future to become the now. If that makes any sense. All right. So that was announced. I cannot wait for that. I'm very happy for that. And then, our main event of the evening, the OTC, defending his championship against the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu came out. He had the old school Fatu, where the old school wild Samoans kind of attire on, which was cool. Nice little touch that they put in to help honor the tradition, honor his family, honor the lineage, so to speak. OTC came out, everyone acknowledged him. There were parts where I thought Roman Reigns was actually going to lose, because he kind of had like boo-boo face, as they called it, on his entrance and everything like that. Good back and forth. But they really were they were really shining light on Jacob Fatu as being a contender, an actual contender for the championship, and a possible future champion. And not possible. Jacob Fatu will be a future world or WWE champion. He will be a heavyweight champion sometime this year. I will say that. I will put that prediction out there. They made him, Roman Reigns. I know he was calling it in there, and I know their family, and I know about it. I get all that. But they made Jacob Fatu look like $1 million. Roman Reigns, after fighting CM Punk at WrestleMania and doing everything he had to do to beat CM Punk, had to do even more to topple Jacob Fatu. It took so many clotheslines to even just get him down one time. And even like the start of the match, they did the shoulder bump thing, and Jacob Fatu jumps right back up. They really played off him being a powerhouse, him being the Fatus, him being that Samoan that he just give you headbutt. Like, they really played up him being the Haku of today, which, anyone who knows Haku, I'm happy about that. It's a great role for Jacob to be in. He's got the size, he's got the look, the tongue and death grip. and he's crazy, and he's got blood on his mouth, and he's looking at it, and it was a great main event. They really played up. They made Jacob Fatu again look like $1,000,000. Even the way that it ended with Jacob Fatu having Roman Reigns in the tongue of death grip, and Roman Reigns desperately pulling off the turnbuckle pad and then slamming Jacob Fatu's head into the exposed turnbuckle to get the win. He slammed it in, and then there was a spear, and that's how Roman Reigns won. That's how the OTC won, by nefarious means. And of course, if Jacob Fatu didn't lose his mind because he's crazy, he might have been able to say, hey, I deserve a rematch. But after attacking Roman Reigns the way he did multiple times, and then attacked multiple officials, there's no way Adam Pearce, he even attacked Adam Pearce. There's no way Adam Pearce could stand for this. He shouldn't stand for this. Jacob Fatu should be immediately suspended indefinitely without further notice of when he is able to come back, because he needs to be made an example of. It shouldn't matter how crazy you are, okay? And it doesn't matter if you lose by nefarious means. You should still have the professionalism to be able to keep your composure and not put your hands on officials, because officials are officially official. Okay, whether they have the zebra stripes, or they're Jamie Noble, Jason Jordan, or Hurricane Helms, these are legends. And you don't put your hands on officials like that, Jacob Fatu. So he needs to be expeditiously suspended. Like, Twitter should be, Adam Pearce should be on Twitter immediately, expeditiously suspending him indefinitely. Because that type of behavior, especially to Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, the OTC, it should not stand. It should not be tolerated. Especially from a future champion like Jacob Fatu. Overall, I would say Backlash, great. If I was gonna give it stars, I'd give it I give it 4.5 stars. It wasn't perfect because there were some botches, there were some parts of it that were a little meh, but because I only give it a 4.5, mainly because of we didn't have Kari Sane. We had people. We didn't have that. If Kari Sane would have been in here, we would have had a payoff for that storyline. I think that would have bumped it up to a 5. Because I thoroughly enjoyed this. There wasn't a time where I was like, man, I don't want to be watching this anymore. All the matches were great. They all told a story, which is why I love watching wrestling, is the story that they tell. Not only the action is great, but the storytelling is there, guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys could give a like, comment wherever, if you could share it so that, more people could watch. The more people that watch, the more people that like, the more I can get, the more I will be able to do this. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching with me, and watching wrestling. Wrestling has been a huge portion of my life, and I love watching it, and I love sharing it with everyone. Going to SmackDown a couple weeks ago really sparked that flame again for wrestling. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. I appreciate it. Good night. Bye-bye. Oh.